a Russian logistics depot located 38 kilometers behind front lines in eastern Ukraine. Remote forested area providing concealment from aerial observation. Temperature -10 Celsius with clear night sky offering excellent visibility but extreme cold. Depot consisted of 4 large warehouse buildings, storing ammunition and fuel supplies, supporting artillery operations across 60-kilometer front sector. Buildings were hardened structures with reinforced walls designed to contain accidental explosions and protect contents from artillery strikes. Depot inventory represented substantial combat power concentration. Warehouse 1 contained approximately 800 tons of 152mm artillery shells, approximately 2,000 rounds worth $1,600,000. Warehouse 2 stored 600 tons of 122mm artillery shells plus rocket ammunition, approximately 3,000 rounds worth $1,200,000. Warehouse 3 held 1,000 tons mixed ammunition, including mortar rounds, small arms ammunition, grenades, anti-tank weapons, estimated value $6 million. Warehouse 4 contained fuel supplies, approximately 800,000 liters of diesel and petrol in storage tanks and containers worth $880,000. Security consisted of 47 soldiers organized into guard company. Perimeter security included 3-meter chain-link fence with razor wire, observation towers at 4 corners, each manned by 2 guards with night vision devices and radios, roving patrols of 4 soldiers conducting perimeter checks every 30 minutes, electronic sensors at fence line triggering alarms if breached. Interior security included 2-man teams conducting rounds through warehouse areas, checking for fires or unauthorized access. Command post located in small building near main gate, monitored cameras and alarm systems. Poll. What's the hardest part of infiltrating guarded facility? A. Getting past perimeter undetected. B. Avoiding interior patrols. C. Extracting after mission without detection. Comment your answer. 4 hours and 18 minutes after demolition charges detonated, destruction would be complete. 31 Russian soldiers dead from initial explosions and secondary detonations throughout night. 52 soldiers wounded requiring evacuation and treatment for burns, blast injuries, and fragment wounds. All 4 warehouse buildings completely destroyed, nothing remaining except rubble and twisted steel. Entire ammunition and fuel stockpile consumed by fire and explosions. $38 million lost in materiel, infrastructure, and personnel casualties. 10 days of artillery ammunition supply eliminated requiring emergency redistribution from other depots, creating logistics complications across entire sector. Ukrainian Special Operations Team extracted successfully without casualties, accomplishing mission objective. Total Ukrainian operation cost approximately $300,000, including planning, insertion transportation, demolition materials, and extraction. Return on investment, 126-1 demonstrating extraordinary efficiency of properly executed sabotage operation against high-value target. This happened 3 nights ago during new moon period, providing maximum darkness for infiltration. Depot remains as burned wreckage. Investigation ongoing to determine how security was breached. Tactical implications of depot vulnerability to sabotage continue affecting Russian logistics security planning, with increased guard forces and enhanced detection systems deployed at remaining depots. This is what occurred during those 23 minutes when 6 soldiers penetrated security. During 4 hours when depot burned, when asymmetric warfare demonstrated that small elite force can achieve strategic effects, conventional attack cannot. Special operations sabotage represents asymmetric approach to destroying enemy capabilities. Rather than conventional military assault requiring hundreds of soldiers, armor, artillery, and air support, sabotage employs small teams using stealth and demolitions, achieving similar or greater destruction at fraction of cost and risk. Key advantage is surprise. Defenders prepared for conventional attack, but vulnerable to infiltration by highly trained operators. Modern special operations forces possess equipment and training, enabling operations impossible for regular infantry. Advanced night vision, specialized communications, precision demolition expertise, extensive physical conditioning, and tactical skills. Ukrainian Special Operations Team, selected for mission, consisted of 6 operators. All combat veterans with minimum 3 years special operations experience. Team leader was senior sergeant with 8 years special forces service, including previous sabotage missions. Demolition specialist was warrant officer with explosives expertise, including course instruction at National Demolition School. 4 assault operators provided security and assisted with charge placement. All team members were qualified in advanced land navigation, close quarters combat, communications, and medical skills. Mission planning consumed 3 weeks, including intelligence gathering, reconnaissance, rehearsals, and coordination. Intelligence sources identified depot location, confirmed ammunition storage, assessed security measures. Unmanned aerial reconnaissance conducted over a 2-week period, documented guard patterns, identified patrol routes and timing, assessed perimeter vulnerabilities. Infrared satellite imagery provided thermal analysis showing guard positions and building occupancy patterns. Signals intelligence intercepted security radio communications, revealing procedures and response capabilities. Infiltration route was planned using detailed terrain analysis. Team would insert by vehicle 12 kilometers from target, move on foot cross-country avoiding roads and settlements, penetrate security perimeter at identified vulnerable point, conduct mission, extract using same route. Total movement distance 24 kilometers, 12 kilometers each direction, requiring approximately 8 hours, including mission execution time. Timeline required insertion at 2000 hours, reaching perimeter at 2230. Conducting mission by 0100, extraction complete by 0500 before dawn. Rehearsals were conducted at training facility with mock-up of depot based on reconnaissance intelligence. Team practiced infiltration approach, perimeter breach, movement through interior, charge placement and extraction until all actions could be performed silently and efficiently. Timing was refined to minimize exposure. Target was 20 minutes for charge placement, but team achieved consistent 18-minute performance during rehearsals. Debate starter: is sabotage behind enemy lines more effective than conventional artillery strikes against supply depots? Type sabotage or artillery in comments. Demolition plan called for shaped charges placed at structural points in each warehouse, creating building collapse and igniting stored materials. Primary charges were C4 plastic explosive, 40 kilograms total carried by team in specialized packs. Each warehouse would receive 2 charges, one at load-bearing wall near ammunition storage, second near fuel storage if present. Charges would be linked by detonation cord, enabling simultaneous initiation. Timer would be set for 90-minute delay, allowing team to extract beyond danger radius before detonation. Team inserted at 2000 hours from concealed position. 6 operators wearing winter camouflage over body armor, thermal signature reduction clothing, minimizing infrared detection. Advanced night vision devices providing clear vision in darkness. Each operator carried suppressed rifle, sidearm, demolition materials, communications equipment, and emergency supplies. Total equipment load per operator, 42 kilograms. Heavy but manageable for operators in excellent physical condition. Movement to target consumed 2 hours 30 minutes, slightly longer than planned due to need to avoid unexpected civilian vehicle on rural road. Team moved in tactical formation with point man navigating, team leader following with command radio, demolition specialist in center carrying primary charges, assault operators providing rear security. Movement was silent, hand signals only, no verbal communications, carefully avoiding snow-covered areas where footprints would be visible. Team reached perimeter at 2240, 10 minutes behind schedule but within acceptable window. Infiltration point was section of fence line between observation towers in wooded area, where trees provided concealment from tower observation. Reconnaissance had identified this section as having longest interval between roving patrols, approximately 40 minutes between patrol passages. Team waited in concealment observing, confirming patrol patterns matched intelligence before proceeding. Fence breach was conducted using bolt cutters, cutting chain link from ground level, creating opening large enough for operators to crawl through. Electronic sensors were neutralized using portable jamming device preventing breach detection by command post monitoring systems. Breach required 4 minutes, slightly longer than rehearsed, due to fence wire being thicker gauge than expected. All 6 operators penetrated perimeter without detection, moving into tree line inside compound. Interior movement to warehouses required crossing 200 meters of open ground between perimeter and warehouse cluster. Team waited for roving interior patrol to pass, 4 guards walking between buildings, conducting visual inspection. After patrol passed, moving away from warehouses, team moved quickly across open area, reaching shadow of Warehouse 1. No guards were visible. Timing placed team in interval between interior patrol rotations. Demolition charges were placed beginning with Warehouse 1 at 2308. 2 operators provided security observing approaches, while 4 operators worked on charge placement. Demolition specialist identified structural load-bearing walls using building plans memorized during planning. Charges were placed against walls at ground level. Explosive force directed upward would collapse structure onto stored ammunition. Adhesive compound attached charges to concrete walls. Detonation cord-linked charges. Timer was set but not activated. All charges would be linked to single master timer, preventing individual detonation until ready for simultaneous initiation. Warehouse 1 required 6 minutes for charge placement, within planned timeline. Team moved to Warehouse 2, placed charges in 7 minutes. Warehouse 3 required 8 minutes due to more complex internal layout requiring movement through stacked ammunition. Warehouse 4 containing fuel was fastest, 5 minutes as fuel storage was concentrated in one section. By 005, all charges were placed and linked. Total mission time inside perimeter: 23 minutes including movement and charge placement. Team remained on timeline despite minor delays during approach. Demolition specialist armed timer system setting 90-minute delay. First charge would detonate at 0135, providing team 90 minutes to extract beyond danger radius estimated at 5 kilometers. Quiz: how far can special operations teams move on foot per hour in winter conditions, carrying heavy equipment? A. 2 km/h. B. 4 km/h. C. 6 km/h. Answer at minute 17. Extraction began at 007 with team retracing movement path toward perimeter breach point. Interior patrol was approaching on routine round. Team waited in shadows as 4 guards passed 30 meters distant, unaware of operators nearby. After patrol cleared area, team moved to perimeter breach, passed through cut fence, entered tree line outside compound. Extraction movement was faster than infiltration. Team moved rapidly, knowing timeline required reaching safe distance before detonation. 4 kilometers covered in 53 minutes. Excellent pace for terrain and equipment load. At 0100, team reached position 5.2 kilometers from depot and took cover in deep ravine, providing protection from blast effects. At 0135, first charges detonated. Massive explosions destroyed load-bearing walls in all 4 warehouses, causing structural collapse. Buildings fell inward, collapsing onto stored ammunition. Impact and pressure from building collapse triggered sympathetic detonation of stored explosives. Warehouse 1, containing 152mm shells, experienced catastrophic explosion. 800 tons of high explosive detonating created blast equivalent to approximately 600 tons of TNT. Fireball rose 300 meters into sky visible for 40 kilometers. Blast wave shattered windows in nearby guard buildings. Warehouse 2 detonated 6 seconds after first explosion. Sympathetic detonation triggered by pressure wave from Warehouse 1. 600 tons of 122mm shells added to explosion, creating second massive fireball. Warehouse 3 with mixed ammunition detonated in progressive fashion. Initial collapse triggered some munitions. Heat and pressure triggered others, creating rolling explosions lasting several minutes. Warehouse 4 fuel storage ignited, creating sustained fire. 800,000 liters burning created massive black smoke column, rising 1,000 meters. Russian guards near warehouses were killed instantly by initial blasts. 15 soldiers on interior patrol and warehouse guard duty were within lethal radius. Blast waves through bodies 50 meters from detonation points. Guard towers near warehouses collapsed from blast pressure, killing 4 guards in towers. Command post near main gate sustained structural damage from blast. Glass windows shattered, causing fragment injuries to personnel inside. Soldiers farther from initial blasts survived but faced new dangers as secondary explosions continued. Ammunition cooked off throughout burning wreckage. Artillery shells, rockets, grenades detonating randomly as fire heated storage. Fragments from exploding ammunition struck personnel and buildings across depot area. Some soldiers were wounded multiple times by different fragment showers over a 4-hour period as explosions continued. Medical response was chaotic. Depot medical facility was damaged by initial blast. Medical personnel were killed or wounded. Medical supplies were destroyed. Surviving guards attempted treating wounded using personal first aid kits, but faced overwhelming casualty numbers. 31, 52 wounded required triage and treatment, but capabilities were grossly inadequate. Emergency calls for medical evacuation went out, but response was delayed. Nearest medical facility was 19 kilometers distant. Roads were poor, multiple casualties required multiple evacuation trips. Firefighting was impossible. Depot had no fire suppression capability adequate for ammunition fires. Nearest fire brigade was too distant. Continuing explosions prevented approach to burning buildings. Guards evacuated to safe distance and watched depot burn, knowing nothing could be done. Explosions continued throughout night, approximately 4 hours of sustained secondary detonations as heat reached additional stored ammunition, triggering progressive cook-offs. By 0600, dawn light revealing devastation, fires were diminishing as stored materials were consumed. Depot was completely destroyed. 4 warehouses reduced to rubble and twisted steel. Stored ammunition entirely consumed. Fuel burned completely. Surrounding buildings damaged extensively. Crater approximately 40 meters across marked warehouse 1 location where largest explosion occurred. Debris field extended 200 meters in all directions. Investigation began immediately attempting to determine how sabotage occurred. Security logs showed no perimeter breach alarms. Jammers had successfully defeated electronic sensors. Patrols reported no suspicious activity. Team had successfully timed movements to avoid detection. Video surveillance systems were reviewed, but cameras monitoring warehouse areas were destroyed in initial blast. Cut fence section was discovered indicating infiltration point, but provided limited investigative value. Russian command recognized depot loss, created immediate operational crisis. Artillery units dependent on depot ammunition were critically low on shells. Combat operations would be severely constrained. Emergency resupply was organized, but required diverting stocks from other sectors, creating vulnerabilities elsewhere. Logistics planning was disrupted, attempting to compensate for lost depot capacity, requiring increased truck convoys, delivering supplies over longer distances. Here's the financial breakdown of one night where 6 soldiers destroyed $38 million. Economic analysis revealed extraordinary cost for depot destruction. Ammunition losses represented primary financial impact. Warehouse 1, 800 tons of 150-yard centimeter shells at $2,000 average per shell for approximately 1,600 rounds. Total $3.2 million. Warehouse 2, 600 tons of 122mm shells and rockets at $400 average. Approximately 1,500 shells plus rockets, total $1.8 million. Warehouse 3, mixed ammunition including mortar rounds at $300 each, approximately 8,000 rounds. Small arms ammunition at $2 per round, approximately 4 million rounds. Anti-tank weapons at $5,000 each, approximately 200 units. Grenades at $40 each, approximately 50,000 units. Estimated total value $6.1 million. Warehouse 4 fuel, 800,000 liters at $1.1 per liter. Total $880,000. Combined ammunition and fuel losses $11.98 million. Infrastructure destruction compounded losses. 4 warehouse buildings with reinforced construction valued at $700,000 each. Total $2.8 million. Interior storage systems, material handling equipment, lighting, heating, estimated $1.4 million. Perimeter security infrastructure including fencing, towers, sensors, cameras, estimated $400,000. Command post building and communications equipment, $300,000. Combined infrastructure losses, $4.9 million. Personnel casualties created substantial costs, 31 soldiers killed represented $1.7 million training investment, average $55,000 per soldier. Death benefits averaged $50,000 per soldier. Total $1.55 million government obligations. 52 wounded required extensive medical treatment for burns, blast trauma, fragment injuries. Estimated $35,000 average per casualty, totaling $1.82 million. Long-term disability for estimated 40% of wounded. 21 soldiers at $200,000 present value, totaling $4.2 million. Combined personnel costs, $9.27 million. Operational impact costs exceeded direct losses. Depot supplied artillery ammunition for 60-kilometer front sector, approximately 18 artillery battalions dependent on steady supply flow. Loss of depot required emergency redistribution from other facilities, creating logistics strain. Additional truck convoys required to deliver supplies over longer distances. Estimated additional 10 days of emergency transport operations, costing approximately $800,000 in fuel, vehicle wear, driver time. Artillery units operated at reduced fire rates during 10-day resupply period. Estimated combat effectiveness reduction cost approximately $11.8 million in degraded fire support capability. Combined operational costs, $12.6 million. Total comprehensive cost of depot destruction, $38.75 million, including ammunition, infrastructure, personnel, and operational impacts. Ukrainian operation costs were remarkably modest. 6 special operations personnel represented approximately $900,000 training investment. Not a cost, as personnel were not lost. Demolition materials, 40 kilograms C4 explosive at approximately $3,000 per kilogram, $120,000. Transportation for insertion and extraction, 2 vehicles with fuel and support, estimated $30,000. Planning and intelligence gathering, including reconnaissance flights, estimated $80,000. Communications equipment and specialized gear, estimated $70,000. Total operation cost, $300,000, achieving $38.75 million impact. Cost exchange ratio, 129:1, demonstrating extraordinary efficiency of sabotage against concentrated high-value target. Strategic implications extended beyond single depot. Russian Logistics Command increased security at all ammunition depots. Additional guard forces, enhanced sensor systems, increased patrol frequencies. These security improvements consumed personnel and resources, creating opportunity costs. Some ammunition stocks were dispersed to multiple smaller facilities, reducing concentration but increasing logistics complexity. Morale among depot guards decreased. Recognition that security measures hadn't prevented sabotage created anxiety about vulnerability to future attacks. Ukrainian special operations demonstrated capability to strike targets deep behind Russian lines, creating uncertainty about security of any facility, regardless of distance from front. Russian forces increased rear area security, diverting troops from frontline positions. Some operations were disrupted by false alarms as nervous guards reported suspicious activity requiring investigation. Tactical lessons emphasized vulnerability of concentrated logistics facilities to special operations. Defending static facility against determined sabotage team is extremely difficult. Perimeter security provides deterrence, but determined operators with proper equipment can defeat most measures. Dispersing supplies reduces sabotage impact, but creates logistics inefficiency. Active patrolling of approaches might detect infiltrating teams, but requires extensive forces covering large areas. Counter-sabotage measures implemented after attack included increased roving patrols beyond perimeter, attempting to detect approach, thermal imaging systems scanning perimeter areas, guard dogs patrolling fence lines providing biological detection, random inspection of security systems preventing predictable patterns exploitable by reconnaissance. These measures increased security but also increased costs. More guards required, more equipment needed, more training consumed. This is asymmetric warfare, where $300,000 operation destroys $38 million. Where 6 soldiers accomplish what battalion couldn't. Where stealth and explosives create strategic impact. 23 minutes inside perimeter, 90 minutes until detonation, 4 hours of explosions. One night changing frontline artillery supply for weeks. How would you defend ammunition depot against special operations sabotage? Comment your security plan.